Known Capital Limited since 2005, since its inception, when they started with 4 drilling rigs at the Kabanga nickel project in Tanzania. And ever since 2005, I've kept in touch with the leadership team of Capital Limited, who have, always impressed me with their ability to continually grow the company. Today, Capital Limited has 145 rigs in 26 countries. So their growth has been incredibly impressive. In terms of my role as business development manager, my primary remit is to grow on the foundations, to develop the foundations that have been laid down by the leadership team, and contribute to their continued global growth. But also not only looking at existing markets, but also looking at new markets, where at the moment there are a number of companies who are extremely interested in the experience and capabilities that we could bring to those markets as well. So not only focusing on existing, but also emerging markets. Yeah. Both Pakistan and US are contracts with Barrick. This is a client that we've been with now since 2008. We started with Barrick at North Mara gold mine in Tanzania back in 2008. And then since then, we're awarded 2 other projects. One was at Jabal Sayid project in Saudi Arabia, and the other one is at Bulyanhulu gold mine in Tanzania. So when you've got a client like Barrick who is comfortable and familiar with our services, that contributes heavily to us being awarded new contracts with them elsewhere, like in Pakistan and in the US. Our entry into the market has not been without its challenges, but all of them, through experience and competence and in-depth knowledge of our people, of our teams, we've overcome these challenges, and so much so that we are now in discussion now with the client for expansion of our current remit and scope of works for 2026. Always try to capitalize on our integrated range of services with existing clients. So, where we might have a drill and blast contract, we might also then try to offer our grade control drilling, or offer a on-site laboratory through our MSA Labs business. For emerging opportunities, we always look to target tier 1 projects, low-cost projects, with majors, so the likes of Barrick and AngloGold Ashanti. Innovation and sustainability is in our DNA. Our leadership is really focused on that. We've got a technology innovation committee, steering committee, and we also have a dedicated R&D department within the group, who are constantly screening and testing the latest mining technologies. So we've got a number of really cool initiatives that we've rolled out already. One of them is through a collaboration with Epiroc, who are a drilling rig supplier. They have developed in collaboration with us a battery electric surface rig. This is the first of its kind in the world. It's currently going through its final testing, and then will be rolled out. The prototype will be rolled out to Sukari, the Sukari gold mine in Egypt, where it'll go through field testing. So that's on the drilling rigs, and that's really exciting, as I said. Then with MSA Labs, we were the leader. We were one of the first ones to market. We now have 14 units across our laboratories in the world. We, by far, are the largest user of CPA technology. This is of particular interest because not only does it allow us to deliver faster sampling results back to the client, but it also reduces the toxic chemical waste that is typically associated with fire assaying methodology. So that's got a huge impact, the environmental footprint that our laboratories have. We also made in 2024 an investment in a company called Eco Detection, is based in Australia, and it remotely monitors chemical components of water, and provides in real-time water analysis. So this is interesting because in the mining industry, we enable faster remote response times to any contaminant or leaching incidents. We're now just rolling that out across Africa as well. It's been used a lot in Australia, and now we're rolling it out across Africa. And lastly, we have solar power installations at our workshops, key workshops. So we currently use 37% of our electricity use at these workshops is through renewable energy. And this power is also used for our forklifts in the workshops. We've got 34 different types of technologies. Our R&D department testing and trialing right now. So we're really, really dedicated and focused on this part of our business. So the most interesting one that we've implemented of late is at Gator Gold Mine, AngloGold Ashanti's Gator Gold Mine in Tanzania, where we have invested in the digitization of our blast hole drilling rig fleet. So the system is called Hole Navigation System, and it allows our rigs to automatically detect the precise location and depth drilling holes and allow for accurate and faster drilling. Why is this important from a sustainability point of view? It means that you reduced the number of rework that you have to do. Therefore, you use less diesel, and that's a big plus for the environment. And this, in addition to the advantages to the client in terms of real-time drill rig performance data. So related to Gator, we've also invested in the first simulator, Epiroc simulator for D65 drilling rigs. This is the first of its kind in Africa. It allows our drilling crews to not only do training on day-to-day operations, but also to do training on dangerous situations, which would otherwise be difficult to do in a real-world environment. We've been in Saudi Arabia since 2020, so we have been developing our relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia already for some time. The Kingdom released its Saudi Arabia Vision 2030, and it's identified mining as the first pillar of its drive to diversifying the country's economy. So we are 100% behind them in their efforts of this. Saudi Arabia has $2.5 trillion worth of reserves, mineral reserves. It's got about 45 different minerals that have been identified, and it's got an extremely attractive mining investment laws. So put them all together, and it makes for a very attractive destination for us and our clients. And very recently, we built our first on-site laboratory at Jabal Sayid through MSA Labs. So that's a fully fledged state-of-the-art facility. Overall, our approach to these new markets, whether it's Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, Central Asia, it's always to approach tier one companies and build long-term relationships and establish a long-term footprint in the country. Our safety performance has always been industry leading against our peers. We've also got a long-standing history of operational excellence. So this has been another key driver for growth and expansion. All our equipment is tier one. We work closely with Sandvik and Epiroc. We adopt and implement test, adopt and implement the latest technologies and innovations into our business to help us ensure that our performance always remains cutting edge. But above all, it's about our commitment to service the clients. So being responsive and reactive to client needs. Very important to highlight is our track record of contract renewals. So that really reflects on the relationships we build with our clients. Two examples: one is Gator Gold Mine. We've been there 20 years now. So this is constant renewals of contracts, expansion of contracts, a reflection on how we are seen in the market. I think most important thing is that the majority of our contracts are with on production sites, term contracts with long-term visibility. Our exposure to drilling exploration contracts is about 10%. So that means we've got a very strong, solid base. This is the same with MSA Labs, who a lot of their labs are based on client mine sites with long-term contracts. What's important throughout all of this is that we ensure that we continue to deliver quality and professional levels of service, which allows us not only to win new contracts elsewhere, but to renew existing contracts as well. We've the gold price at the historical high. Our clients' operating margins are very healthy. The demand for our services in the industry is as good as we've ever seen it. So we definitely anticipate an increase in demand for exploration services, which will then also increase the demand in laboratory services. We're ready and well established to ramp up to meet this demand. As I said earlier, we've 145 rigs in our fleet with an additional 15 on order. We've built 16 new laboratories in the last 4 years, so that implements a total of 25 laboratories globally. I see huge opportunities in Central Asia, and in the Americas. So where we also are developing a great team in Canada on the MSA lab side. So a really, really exciting future for everyone.